Hi guys, and welcome to another Will I Buy It video. There are some really beautiful products coming up, and one that I'm going to be referring to that already has just been released. Now, I get my information, well, most of my information from about 3 different Instagram accounts, and they are WZ_beauty, Chic Profile 3, and also Amit Beauty Talk. So they're gonna be on a pop-up on this side or this side of the screen, and I strongly encourage you to follow them on Instagram. They do keep you up to date with all the new releases that are coming up. And in my last Will I Buy It video, I did refer to the Dior collection that is going to be released, I think it's towards the end of August. But on WZ_beauty's page, there's also a picture of a blush that's going to be released. And I think this just may be Japan exclusive. It is number 290, and the embossing on this is absolutely beautiful. It looks like a gorgeous satin type of blush. Might have a little bit more sheen than just your average satin, but it does look really beautiful. I think the embossing is gorgeous. So as I said, I think this is going to be Japan exclusive. There is someone that I can purchase from there. I don't know whether I'm going to get this one. It would be lovely to have in my collection. So at this stage, I may get it, I may not, but it does look like a really beautiful shade. And next we have a couple of Tom Ford eyeshadow quads. This is number 43 Ambrosia, and we've also got number 44 Dark Opulence. Now, I think both of these are really beautiful color stories. One of them has quite a bright pink. It almost looks like magenta. And in the swatches for the promo photos, these do look really pigmented, but I've heard that they are quite sheer. And while I think that these color stories are really beautiful and I do enjoy the Tom Ford formula, I don't think I will pick these up. And the reason is because I don't think I will really reach for them very much. If I was going to pick up one of them, it would be number 44 Dark Opulence. I do wear a green shadow every now and then. I am wearing one at the moment, but it is not a Tom Ford eyeshadow. The Dark Opulence is quite a deep sort of quad, and it's definitely suited for autumn. The saving grace for this eyeshadow palette, I think, if they were all dark colours, it would definitely be a skip for me. But on the left, on the top there is a really light shade. And those of you that have watched my other videos, I do love a light shade in an eyeshadow quad, especially when there's more deeper colours. I just find that it lifts the whole look. So out of the two, it would be Dark Opulence, but I'm not sure. I don't even know whether this will come to New Zealand. If it does, I may pick up Dark Opulence, but there are some other products coming up in the near future that I really would rather spend my money on. There are other YouTube creators that will be picking up both of these eyeshadow quads and do amazing reviews. So for now, I'm just not too sure. And then we've got the really beautiful, it's the Equinox de Chanel Fall Collection 2023. I think this collection looks absolutely beautiful. And apart from a few of the lipsticks, I really would love to get everything else. Now, I think this is going to be released in the US and other places around about the beginning of August, maybe mid-August, but I don't think this is coming to New Zealand until September. So let's take a closer look. The blushes are definitely the standout. Number 797, Beige or Coral. I think it is beautiful. And I have seen swatches of these, and they do look more on the sheer side, but it is really hard to tell with some swatches. I think the embossing on these are absolutely beautiful. And if you have a really close look, it has embossing of leaves, keeping with that autumnal theme. Just absolutely stunning. And number 798, Beige Rose in Mauve. That is gorgeous. This mauvey rose soft color. I think this would look gorgeous. I love both of them. I think perhaps maybe the beige may be one that I would probably reach for more, but in any event, I think both are just stunning. And when they come to New Zealand, I'm definitely going to be picking up both of these. I think it is really gorgeous. And next are some loose eyeshadows, and these are really interesting. So they're quite deep shades, and at first I sort of wasn't too sure about them. But what I would do is, there is a small, looks like, is it a brush or maybe, I think it's more a little sponge applicator that comes with them. There are going to be 6 different shades. And I think with this, it's hard to know until you get it, but I'll probably just use the applicator, tap some on. You could probably blend it with your finger. And then I would just, over the rest of my lid, because that's what I like to do, I'd probably reach for something like the Chanel, those liquid eyeshadows, just to lift the look. But I'm really intrigued with these and see what the formula is like. And I just think they're lovely. Now, I would love to get all 6. I don't know what the price of these are going to be. So I'll have to make up my mind. And by the time they get to New Zealand, they will have been reviewed and swatched on Instagram and on YouTube. So I'll probably limit myself to about 2 or 3, but really interested in those. And then we have 6 lipsticks. These are the Rouge. These are the Cocoa Blooms, which is a really beautiful formula. They are similar to the Rouge Cocoa Flash, but these tend to be more pigmented. And if you don't want them as pigmented, then I just put a little bit through here and then just tap it over the rest of my lips. I think these are a really lovely moisturizing formula. They have a really beautiful shine on them as well. Now, for the shades, I'm definitely not going to get 160. I wouldn't wear that. Possibly could get either 156 or 158. But I am drawn to the shades 150 and 152. I think that they look like really beautiful neutrals. They are ones that I would reach for with my everyday makeup. And lastly, there are going to be 2 nail polishes, I presume, in the new formula. And they both look to be really beautiful shades. I do love my Chanel nail polishes, especially with the new formula. I do have a lot though, and I picked up a lot with that new formula. I think I've got 11 or 12 now. And altogether, I think around about 30 Chanel nail polishes, but I do wear them a lot. So I'm not too sure whether I would pick either of these up. If I was going to, I would probably pick up shade 163. And then Chantecaille have just released, it's the Chantecaille Wild Mustang collection. This is available at the moment for people who are Les Loyals members on the Chantecaille site, and I put a link up to that on my YouTube community page and also on my Instagram stories. At the moment, or it might have finished by the time I put this video up, there was a 25% off site-wide on the Chantecaille site, but that does not include this new release. Now, to begin with, I wasn't that impressed with it. I think the pictures of the different horses are just absolutely gorgeous. But then I realized that 2 of the 4 singles are matte. And I have heard that the formula of these matte shades is absolutely beautiful. So I would be tempted to try it. Now, I could have ordered this from Chantecaille and got it forwarded to a US address that I have with New Zealand Post and got forwarded to me. I've decided not to do that. If I'm going to pick up any of this collection, it will be when it eventually arrives in New Zealand, and usually it's not for like 3 or 4 months afterwards it's been released. I wish Chantecaille would release their products a lot earlier in New Zealand, but unfortunately they don't. And the 2 lipsticks are I think it is the Lip Veil formula, and that's in Wild Begonia and Laurel. and I have a couple of the Lip Veil lipsticks. I probably wouldn't pick up these shades. I have a couple with the Chantecaille different lipsticks, shades that are fairly similar, but I would love to try out those two matte formulas. I think overall it is a really beautiful collection, and I think the colours are they're just beautiful neutrals. And I do have some of their luminescent, the single eyeshadows, and I do enjoy the formula. With single eyeshadows, they aren't something when I think of, or I'm in a rush in the morning to pop on an eyeshadow, they're not really something I reach for, and I probably should, because especially with the luminescent eyeshadows, they are a really lovely one and done shadow. But I have 2 or 3 of them already. Again, maybe after I've seen reviews, I may pick up 1 or 2 of the luminescence and 1 or 2 of the mattes, but I'll wait until I've seen reviews, and I'll be definitely waiting until these come to New Zealand. And next we have Cle de Peau, and I'm just going to talk very quickly about this. I now have 3 of their eyeshadow quads. I have it in Seagrass, and the other one, I think it's Twilight Purple or something like that, and the other one in Sand Dune. I'm wearing Seagrass at the moment. This is the first time that I've worn Seagrass, and I've worn the other 2 colour stories as well. I filmed one video using the Purple Twilight quad. I think these are stunning, and I think they are beautifully pigmented as well. So a bit later this week I will film a video using this quad here in Seagrass and the other one in Sand Dune. Really beautiful quads, gorgeous formula, flattering on mature eyelids. The only thing is that each one comes with what they call a primer shadow, and you don't really have to use it as a primer. I don't. I've used it today not as a primer underneath the other shadows, but almost as the last one just through here, just to lighten everything up. So even though on their website it refers to that it's a primer eyeshadow, it doesn't solely have to be used. But overall, just such a really beautiful collection from Cle de Peau. At the moment, they're only available on the Cle de Peau website. I think probably in 2 or 3 days they will be available at other retailers, and when I know that they may be at Zaks or other places, I will put it on my community page as well as stories on Instagram. And SUQQU are coming out with the 2023 anniversary collection, and I think this looks really beautiful. They've just released their fall collection, and prior to that I've skipped the last 2 collections from SUQQU, and that's not because of anything wrong with the colour stories or anything like that. I think SUQQU is a beautiful brand, and their eyeshadow formula is just gorgeous. It's just that I've had to prioritise other things. But from the latest fall collection, I did pick up 1 eyeshadow quad, a blush and a lipstick, and when I receive that I will be doing a video on it. But back to this anniversary release, I think this looks really beautiful. So all of these are going to be limited edition. So first of all, we've got the eye and blush compacts number 101 and 102, and as I said, these are limited edition, and they contain 4 eyeshadows and they have 1 sheer blush. And on Chic Profiles page, she's got that these eyeshadows are metallic with shining pearls and different textures from cream and matte. Out of the 2, I would just pick up 1, and I think I would get the one, that looks slightly cooler than the other one. I've had a few eyeshadows recently that have that corally in them. I'd like to get more of the one that looks a little bit more on the rosy side. I think that would be really beautiful, and in particular I think the blush looks really lovely, although I think the blush in that more peachy coral shade in the other palette looks really beautiful as well. There's also going to be some face compacts, and again limited edition. So what these are blushes and highlighters all in one. I think these look really beautiful, And actually, out of all the collection, these are the most that I'm drawn to. I think these are beautiful, and Suku just do blushes and highlighters so beautifully. So number 101 has golden pearls, number 102 has pink pearls with a red luster, and number 103 is translucent with white pearls. And there's also going to be a lip kit. It's inspired by the 4 seasons of the year, and it contains the Comfort Lip Fluid and also the matte lipstick. Now, I don't mind the matte lipstick from Suku, but I prefer the moisture rich one instead. So out of this collection, I'll probably pass on the lip products. I'll have to decide on the face compacts, which one that I'm going to get, or probably 2 out of the 3. And out of the 2 eye and blush compacts, I probably get number 102 instead of 101. But overall, I think this collection looks really beautiful, and I'm sure it's going to be just like all other Suku products that released, and the formulas are just going to be outstanding. And finally, Chanel are coming out also with the Les 4 Ombres. This is the Byzance collection for fall 2023. And there are 4 different color stories. I think this looks really beautiful. Now, out of the 3 Instagram pages that I mentioned at the beginning of this video, there is WZ Beauty, there is Chic Profile, and there's Emmett Beauty Talk. I'm actually referring to Emmett Beauty Talk's page at the moment. WZ Beauty also has different pictures of this, as well as Chic Profile. Now, Chic Profile has got all 4 different palettes, and she's given quite detailed reviews on them, so it's definitely worth checking out. But the pictures that I'm putting up at the moment, these are from Emmett Beauty Talk's page. So this is a limited edition collection, and it's inspired by precious stones and Baroque jewelry. So first of all, we'll take a look at number 308, and this is Imperial, and this has gold in it, and there's also a red in there as well, but it looks like maybe a red with brown, or it could be more of a plum color. I need to take a further look at Chic Profile's page, and she'll probably discuss that more. I think this looks like a really lovely palette, and I do like the packaging on this as well. It looks like a sort of supposed to, I think, probably be gold or a bronze, and it looks like it's been hammered. I think it looks really lovely. This is number 318, and this is Venetian. I think this is a really pretty color story, really gorgeous, and it does remind me of one Chanel Tissé quad that I've seen. I can't quite remember the name of it now, and I don't think I have that in my collection. So I think this color story looks lovely. You've got like a peachy color there, more of a silvery white, and you've got a couple of the neutral browns there as well. And then we've got number 328, and this is Cristal. I think this looks gorgeous. There looks to be like a rose color, a bit of a peach, a brown, and what appears to be like almost an icy blue shade in there. I think this would look really gorgeous. And finally is number 338, and that is Baroque. And this has a beautiful green in it, has a gold, a red, and it looks to be like either a white or a champagne white or something like this. I think this looks like a really beautiful Christmas color story. I do get a bit weary of red eyeshadows, but as long as I keep them away from my lower lash line and just stick to the main area up here, they do look really beautiful. So if I can, I will be picking up all 4 of these eyeshadow quads. Now, as I was saying, Chic Profile has got quite detailed reviews. I need to look at them again. I've had a quick glance at them, and she does say that they are quite sheer. Now, I don't mind a sheer eyeshadow as long as they're buildable. This, what I'm wearing today, even though it's from Cle de Peau, for me, this is probably as bold as I get. I tend to wear things a little bit more sheer. So this doesn't worry me that they are. So it's going to be interesting to see what the formula is like. But like I said, if I can, I will be picking up all 4 and review them here on my YouTube channel. And if I'm able to purchase them and other Chanel products as well, I'll also take photos of them and put them on my Instagram page. So let me know in the comments below which ones you are thinking of purchasing and which you are going to pass on. And now it is more towards early evening and I'm going to have some dinner and also feed my cat. So that's it for today's video. I would love it if you gave it a like and subscribed, and I will see you next time. Bye.